Yes, sir. And Silvio, can you please share the screen? Yeah, thank you. Sir, shall I start? Like,
Yes,
yeah.
sure.
So, sir, our project is based on a game which is based on completely audio.
Based on what?
Audio,
Audio.
yeah. So, it sounds strange, I know, but yeah, that's
That's okay.
the main purpose of our sponsor. He wanted us to create a game which can be played while during if you are doing any important work from
Oh
which
yeah.
you can't yeah which from which you can't go or switch onto the game for your time pass. So it's like basically you can do it by just saying neither under or over. It's like just for an example, I'll give you one thing is what is the age of Will Smith? So you just have to guess it's under 50, over 50,
Oh, okay. All
or
right.
neither of them. Yeah. So it's like you just say it and the application will pick your answer. So
Right. Okay.
it needs to be have a good strength of internet for that. Otherwise, you can see in our smartphones, like when you call Siri or Alexa, they won't hear if you don't have a good strength of internet.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the must thing that you should have a good internet connection. Otherwise, this app won't work.
Okay. But we're kind of getting out of the way here. We've done the problem, the goal. Now we're discussing opportunities,
Yeah.
not the
Okay. Yeah.
solutions. Right. Okay. So if you
Okay.
can just
Yeah.
scroll down a bit, and we'll look at the objectives and criteria together here.
Yeah.
All righty. So you're going to create a game that will test the knowledge of people on the subject of celebrities.
Our first focus is on celebrities. So like we can create different groups,
Right.
like different opportunities for people, like they have different interests in sports, celebrities, than entertainment related to world economy. So there will
Right.
be different subjects, but for the now, like on the first base, we are just focusing on celebrities.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the big thing there would be, is the sponsor going to give you a list of, say, 50 celebrities and a bunch of random facts, or are you going to have to figure that out yourself?
The sponsor didn't say that particularly, but he said like you can have some of the celebrities' name by your own, or if you wanted me to give, then I'll give you, and you can make some of them like just collect the information and know their background. On base, you can like have 15, 20 questions or 25 questions from each, so you'll have bunch of data.
Okay, so
Yeah.
and the reason I ask, this app isn't then going to, it's not going to be like Siri, when you just say, hey, Siri, is Justin Bieber over 20 years old? And she'll go out and find it. You're going to have set questions. Like, this app isn't going to search the internet. The app is going to access a database, is it?
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
thing.
All right. Good.
So when you will select celebrities, and if you want like a particular celebrities question, then you'll select the name,
Right.
and the questions will show up to you. So you just have to say it's under 50, as I said,
Right.
for an example. Yeah.
So maybe the game will be available on Android. Yeah. Installation of the central cloud storage server to keep a record of people's answers to the question. Okay. Including hands-free mode operation and inserting interactive audio ability in the app. Okay. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good objectives. So then you need to have 5 success criteria that all relate one-to-one to each of the objectives. So for the
Oh,
first
okay.
objective, to create a game that will test the knowledge of the people. Well, how do you know you tested the thing? You're going to have to, uh, I guess, the success criteria would have to be successful demo and acceptance by the sponsor, something along that line. So you say
Okay.
the game, like your criteria, game could be played with friends. Yeah, okay, that's true, but you can't quantify that. So maybe that can be played with up to 10 friends, 200 friends, 5,000 friends. Like try and quantify it, okay?
Okay.
Clients can play the game according to their own convenience and preference of language. So no, that could be tricky. So that means every language in the world, or are you just going to pick 2 or 3 because you're going to have to like provide
We'll
translation?
we'll try to cover as much as we can,
Okay.
because yeah, translation is not a big issue, I guess.
Okay. So the success criteria, you're going to have to put a bit more thought into it. So as I say, at least have enough that match 1-to-1 with each of the objectives. Okay, with some type
Okay.
of quantifier. How do you know you met your objective? Well, the success criteria was, we tested it for X number of minutes and had X number of failures, and here's our proof. Okay, so scroll down to the assumptions then. Project will be completed in a single multiplayer mode with the best audio feature. Okay, more than 100 questions along with categories will be provided. Team will take responsibility to share the progress. So the third one, that's just, you have to do that. That's not really assumption, so you could delete that one. The cost of the whole
Okay.
project will be provided by the sponsor. Yeah, that's fine. As I say, we have $500, but that's to buy like hardware and stuff. If it's all programming language and there's no real cost involved, so the sponsor is going to cover database costs and so forth.
Okay.
Risk is the security, so encryption. The app should not become hard to understand by the user. So the risk is that there has to be a certain technical competency or knowledge level of the user. That would be a better way to word that.
Okay.
And database server needs to be maintained to avoid. Yes. Yeah, that's fine. That's a good one.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any constraints?
Yes,
May
sir.
take time to give all the functionality of the audio. So a constraint is something that stops you. So may take time. You need to kind of fix that. May take time to say no time allowed or quantify it, and need coordination of all the team members to complete the project. Yeah, I'd remove that, because again, that's just something that has to happen. You're going to hold each other accountable. You're going to execute, and because again, the outcome of this is, yes, a working app, but you have to meet all the course deliverables too, which is where you get your marks. So that last need coordination, that's a must-have.
Yes.
Okay, and if you just quickly pull up the RBS then.
Yes. CV, please. Yeah.
All right, so good. You got this functional, non-functional, global, and constraints. Applicable software, storage platform, and audio. So you need to have a few more things here. So constraint of a budget. The budget is actually 500 from me, and it's unlimited from the sponsor. So
Okay.
if the sponsor has said, I can only afford $1,000, that's fine, but that's their 1,000. Mine is 500. But if you're not buying hardware, and as I say, you build it on the DigitalOcean or the Sandbox, so that if it has to reside in a permanent database, yeah, that comes out of their budget. So hopefully you can provide some type of storage data that's under 1,000, right? So there's a valid constraint. But under your functional, you need to break those down a bit more. So you have applicable software. Well, that's kind of vague. So that's not broke down low enough to be an individual task in an assigned time. Applicable software is just, that could almost be a global constraint or a global. But so just do a bit more work on the functional so that the sponsor can see all the work you actually have to do. Okay?
Okay. Yep.
Alrighty, good. So I apologize. We are now out of time. I got to jump right into the other half of this group
Yeah, no worries.
and the S2s. So everybody, if you could get a hold of or get your improvements, your changes done, and then try to book your sponsor meeting for next week, because the next assignment A3, you have to have had your second sponsor meeting to work on your assignment number 3, and your sponsor meeting minutes are due in 2 weeks. So you got to have the meeting next week and then submit the minutes the next week. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. Sorry, I got to run here. Any questions, shoot me an email, and I'm online here anyways. I got the next, the rest of your fellow students for the repeat what we just did. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. I'm just going to exit here. Okay.